Van harte welkom bij de Blauwe Tijger Studio in Groningen. Wij zitten vandaag met een livestream in Den Haag, waar Tilasmi Frigge van De Ommekeer in gesprek is met een van de sprekers over het MH17 gebeuren. En dat is de Duitse journalist Billy Six. We schakelen nu naar Tilasmi toe. Tilasmi, goedemiddag.
Ja, ik zit hier in Scheveningen dus naast Billy Six. Billy Six heeft net met Balance Media presentatie gegeven naar de Call of Duty...
Justice.
Call of Justice is de film. Dat hebben ze laten zien. Daarna hebben ze nieuw bewijsmateriaal laten gepresenteerd. Waaronder stukken van het JIT zelf die gelekt zijn. Billy Six is een Duitse journalist die eerst heel sceptisch was. En ik zal even naar Engels overgaan, want dan kan Billy Six het ook volgen. Billy Six, you are a journalist and you were in the beginning very skeptic about. You thought that the Russians shot down MH17, and when you started the investigation, you found out actually that a lot of the story didn't fit.
Mm.
Can you tell a little bit about?
Well, as I showed today in the statement of Professor Desires from the United Nations, all depends on the methodology you proceed in, and if you don't have all facts, you're judging on the facts you have. And the facts I had in July 2014 was what the Ukrainians government, the army, the SBU, told us in the UA Crisis Center in Kiev. And there were no other information available, so my conclusion was different that time, yes.
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, I went to the crash site and I talked with the people who live there and who witnessed that day, and it was a completely different story because I didn't find a single person who witnessed the launch of a Buk missile, even though it's visible and you can hear it even 10 kilometers away. In an area where 40 to 50,000 people live, not to have trustable witnesses who clearly state on that is really strange.
So if there's a Buk launch, how far away do you have to live not to notice a launch of a Buk rocket?
Well, it's again about the methodology here. I am not a military, but I did ask militaries who worked with surface-to-air missiles, who told me up to 10 kilometers you're able to hear and see it. So if you're further away, no. But in the range of 10 kilometers around both the crash site or the alleged launch site, there do live 40 to 50,000 people in the area. So we should have thousands of witnesses.
Yeah. So you did find witnesses that had a different story.
Yeah, I interviewed around 100 people who live there and who were present that day, and 12 of them saw or heard fighter jets in the sky.
Okay, fighter jets. But the jet report doesn't mention fighter jets.
Well, the jet demonstration of 2016 was actually very short. I think it's better to come back to the Dutch Safety Board report of 2015 because this much more pages. And they did mention about the jets in 2 pages by excluding the possibility that jets could have downed MH17, but the 3 arguments they use aren't convincing at all.
So actually they said that the jets, in that report the jets were there, but they couldn't have downed MH17.
No, they didn't. They even said there was no jet.
They said so, but you met 100 people who...
The Ukrainian government said from the very first day they were not flying that day. At the same time, their radars were switched off, allegedly. So.
But you interviewed 100 people who told you that they saw jets fly.
No, out of 100 people interviewed there, from the locals, 12 recognized.
Oh, okay. So, but that's still a lot of people.
Yeah, but more important is that none of them recognized the Buk launch. That's more important.
I saw that the presentation that you had from the leakage from the JIT, where they mentioned somebody testifying that there were jets flying there, and you, Max went there to see what he had to say.
Yeah,
but
it's different people also. Actually,
they don't use that information.
At least not for their conclusion. No?
Not for their conclusion. So when you say that the methodology is they start from the conclusion and then they look for the evidence. That's what is happening. That's what
Professor Sayers also says.
Yeah.
And why he doesn't believe in that way, because you need to do it the other way around. Both the investigation as well as journalists. Yeah. First you collect all facts you have. Take your time. The first 2 years I wasn't announcing what is my conclusion actually, so I was just collecting. And then you can make interpretation out of the material you have. Do it transparently, show who is your source and how you did it, what's your methods, and then it's good. But we don't see it like that with JIT, and we don't see it like that with the mainstream media, unfortunately.
Are you working for mainstream media? What is your job as a journalist?
I'm freelance. Der Spiegel or ARD took material of me in the past.
Yeah.
But I'm mainly working for free media, newspapers, magazines.
Okay.
Sometimes contribution of small video documentaries for internet TV channels. That's what I'm doing. Social media as well.
Okay. So kind of a thing that we are doing. The studio. Do you have any questions, Tom?
No. What are the new things that were presented today? There were some scoops, I heard.
Yeah, sure there was, but it would be better to ask the ones who published it, which would be Max and Jana.
Yeah. And how did you value those new scoops?
Material, because it just proves what we said just now, how with inside of the JIT they do work. They have their theory, they have their narrative, and they want to search for the evidence as they are needed, and they're even ready to twist it if they don't. So, but ask Max and Jana about it. It's better, because I wasn't involved in this operation.
Okay. Do you develop developed your own theory about what happened exactly?
Yeah, I'm not so much into theories. What I actually proved is that the narrative, the theory, we are officially told by the mainstream media and by the JIT can't be true. At least it's not proven that this is what has really happened.
Okay.
So, based on all the evidence I saw, it's more likely that MH17 was shot within the air rather than from the ground.
Okay, that's clear.
But it doesn't ask any question on who did it or which exact weaponry was used. Well, we don't have enough valid sources.
But they know that only Ukraine was flying there around in the eastern Ukraine. There was no Russian airplanes. There's never mentioned of any.
It was mentioned by the Ukrainians as a kind of propaganda. For example, there was one bombing in Snizhnoye of a house, and then the Ukrainian government and the Ukrainian media said it was a Russian plane. It was some days before MH17, and. Yeah, but I mean, it was there and talked with the people, and they said it was a Ukrainian jet. So, just another propaganda war story.
Okay.
So, but they always said Russians would violate the airspace, but never provided evidence for that. And now we go a step further. If you believe and think that the Russians violate your airspace, why do you switch off your radars at 17th of July 2014?
All of them, eh? How many?
All of them. Officially, all of them.
There were 5?
In the area. Well, I don't know the number now, but all of them which would have been able to cover the area.
But if you're in a war zone, is it smart to close off all your radar installations at the same time?
Of course not. Well, they said that there was some kind of maintenance, all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the official announcement.
Mr. Six, I remember that you were 19 when you went abroad as a beginning journalist, right? Can you tell something about your amazing career and all the adventures you had?
That time from Berlin to South Africa, and I traveled for several months around in Africa, and this was how I began to write about my experience, because what I learned there was quite different from what I had heard before in school or in media.
And you wrote for Jonge Vrijheid, the weekly.
Yeah, this is a newspaper which allows me to publish for more than 10 years already.
Yeah.
And there's a very nice cooperation, but it's not the only one.
Okay.
I have had in Deutschland Magazin, I have had Preußische Allgemeine, I have had even Jüdische Allgemeine, which is a Jewish newspaper of Germany, but they later on cancelled all my articles when they found out that I published in Junge Vrijheid, for example.
Okay.
It's a kind of framing which is happening from all sides. So I'm open to everybody who tries to cover the truth and to provide the results of research, but not everybody is willing to cooperate.
Yeah, right. And but you've been to Syria just before you went to Ukraine, right? Or was it after you went to Ukraine?
In 2013, and Ukraine was 2014 and 2015. Yeah, it was a year before.
Yeah, because you went, you've been. You went to prison in Syria by you've been caught by the rebels, I believe.
It was once by the rebels for kidnapped for 2 days, but the detention was 3 months in the anti-terror prison of the Syrian intelligence.
Okay, from the Assad government.
The frontline changed, and I was caught on the other side.
Okay.
Very quickly.
Yeah, because I remember that was quite an how do you say, an exciting time in the Jonge Vrijheid. They kept a kind of diary of your imprisonment and about the diplomacy, about your freedom.
Before my war diary, I was every 2 or 3 days writing about the situation as I see it on the ground, or sort on the ground.
Yeah.
And kept on reporting while I was detained to keep the story alive. But this was even more important recently, or last year, when I was caught in Venezuela, because there was no support of the German government for me. So it was even important to shake the public about my situation.
And did the Venezuelan government consider you as a German agent or something like that, or what? How did that?
Yes, several accusations. It's from fatherland's treaty to espionage, terrorism, rebellion. So it was a bunch of accusations.
Okay, yeah. So you're one of the most imprisoned journalists of the Western media, I think. Can you confirm that?
I would know about another one, but could be. This is also because I'm really working independently. Normally, many newspapers wouldn't send their correspondents into those conflicts.
Yeah.
Just for the insurance issue, for example.
Yeah.
You will be criticized if something happens. So I decided on my behalf, because I'm personally interested to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust the mainstream media anymore.
Okay. Yeah. That's why we follow you for a couple of years now. So it's very interesting all the work you've done so far. Thank you for that, and hopefully we see each other someday in the studio here. You're invited.
Why not? Where are you, in Amsterdam or?
In the north. Groningen.
Groningen, okay. Maybe you come tomorrow to Amsterdam to the event.
We try to.
Would be cool.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will exchange contact.
Yeah, thank you for having you here in the show. And
Yes, thanks for
yeah.
talking to me and informing your subscribers about the event of today.
Oké. Dank je, Tilasmi.
Ja, Tom.
Mooi.
Ik ga nog even naar beneden kijken
Ja.
of Kees nog is.
Ja, hey, maar technisch werkt dit echt fantastisch, hè?
Nou ja, wij hebben het probleem. Want kijk, met die GoPro gaat het dan ook goed als je geen externe microfoon hoeft aan te sluiten.
Ja.
En daar beginnen de problemen de hele tijd.
Ja,
De
ja.
kabeltjes en dingetjes die gaan. Als er herrie is, dan gaat het ook niet werken.
Nee.
Dat je alleen maar geen interview afnemen.
Ja.
Thank you, Billy.
Yes, and you too.
Yeah.
Let's exchange the contacts. You have Facebook?
Yes.
Yes, it's the easiest because we are very locked now. There's nobody here anymore.
I was just mentioning to Billy that I wanted to go to Syria. I didn't know you went to Syria yourself.
Billy
was
has been
there.
everywhere.
I was there 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
But you went to the other side, to the rebel side,
Rebel
not
side,
to
yeah.
Assad side.
Yeah, I had the visa, but then they didn't allow me to enter. So I decided to go as a
Ja,
rebel.
komt zo.
Why did you to go on Assad side? To stay there, you just wanted to cross the front line.
I had the visa, and at the border they didn't accept it for no reason.
Oh,
They said for your security we can't allow you to enter.
but you said you were a journalist, an independent journalist.
No. It was a tourist visa, to be honest.
Oh, maybe they knew who you were. They did a little investigation. I mean, it's not something.
No, it
Germans
was
that
like
want to go to Syria.
spontaneously. It was like spontaneously. It was like the officer in charge who said, "No, I don't want that you cross here." It was coming from Turkey along the coast to Latakia, and he said, "No, I don't want to take the responsibility. You crossing here, something happens, so I don't want you to enter.
Oh,
Visa or not, I don't care."
I don't know about Latakia. Is it from Turkish border to Syria or is it
From
Lebanon?
Antakya to
Lebanon.
Yeah, from the Turkish side, real Turkish Arabic side, we must say. Concerning Hatay, down to Latakia, which is 60 k's or so. This was where the problem happened, and it was easy to enter with the rebels, and you were very free to go around, and it was before the ISIS time. It was still less dangerous than it would be today.
Oh,
I
before
wouldn't
ISIS.
advise anybody to do it at the moment.
And what was
on
your
the ISIS.
experience?
Right, because you never know how they change in their attitude towards you.
Yeah.
I was there at the same time as James Foley, and I crossed the place where he got caught, and a French friend of mine was there too with the rebels, and he was caught by the ISIS. So actually today I must say I was lucky to be caught by the Syrian army, because they brought me to Damascus instead of me needing to go back to the Turkish border, where there was all kind of new rebel groups already looking for foreigners, what they didn't do before. But it changed slowly. You didn't really feel it, that became more dangerous. But afterwards I recognized it.
And how was your time in the Assad prison?
It was not nice, because there is torture a lot.
Okay.
Not against me, against Syrians. I was isolated. I would say I had enough food, more or less. It wasn't cold, it wasn't too hot. But it was an isolated cell, and without any contact to the outside world, no lawyer, no toilet. It's a bad place, a really bad place. But could have been worse.
Okay.
Could have been worse.
And in Venezuela, you've been caught and been in prison.
Yes.
The same? A hard time?
Less hard, because the guards were more friendly towards me, and sometimes there was a chance to speak with other prisoners, and there was a new director of the jail. He made the circumstances less tense, so sometimes I was allowed to play chess with someone or to get a book, so it was better than the Syrian situation. But it would have been easy to liberate me from there if the German government wanted.
Okay,
Because,
so they didn't want to.
No, they didn't want to. Know that today. Were 9 other foreign journalists, and they were all liberated within 48 hours.
Okay, wow.
I was finally liberated by Sergei Lavrov.
Wow. So Frau Merkel really wanted to have you dead or something?
Well, this is an accusation I can't prove, but that would have been the consequence of her actions and of the actions of the foreign minister. Because thanks to the AfD party in Germany, the main opposition party in the parliament, we today know that the Venezuelans tried to negotiate my case and probably called them, the vice foreign minister called the ambassador personally, and the German government said, no, we want a trial for him, we want to know what he was doing in Venezuela.
Wow,
and
so they really ignored.
No, it takes years.
Wow, okay. That's really bad. Yeah.
Yes. I think somebody's... Just one moment, what? They are waiting for me downstairs,
Okay,
so we'll
okay.
just continue another time if it's
Yeah,
okay.
we do.